Dynasty. We are just getting started here, guys. Thank you so much for being with me. What we're going to do is just quickly go through our settings, just letting you know how we're going to be running our dynasty here. This is a coaching dynasty, not a team builder dynasty. So we're going to start as an offensive coordinator, and our goal is to try to find a head coaching job, rebuild a program, maybe get to a top tier program. But that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be starting with the team builder, Harvard, as the offensive coordinator. I'm also going to throw Wichita State in the game. But first things first, guys, I'm going to show you what we're working with here. This is slower XP, coach firings on, skill level Heisman, right? We do 2 on the play call cooldown with no limit. We do 9-minute quarters, accelerated clock. I like to turn that on, okay? And then everything else is like auto recruiting, coach progression off. We got to do that ourselves. Okay, importing the team builder. First and foremost, we're going to go to the independent, and UMass here is going to be replaced by Harvard. We do have a team builder roster, and I used average Joes for Harvard. And then, of course, we backed out of that. For Wichita State, we used the cupcake roster. So 2 different rosters here. Tulsa is going to be, I really like Tulsa, but it's the closest team to Wichita. And if you know anything about team builder, you know that the team that you replace ends up being like your geography recruiting wise. Otherwise, I would have selected a different team, left Tulsa in the game. But we've got Wichita State, who's going to be the worst team in the game. And then like the second worst is, or actually pretty mid-level, is going to be our Harvard team. But
it's now time to select your team. Do you want to build a team?
Let's listen to what he's got to say.
Or take over and establish, and now you'll choose
offensive coordinator.
Here you'll choose to
let's really quickly make our guy. We're going to be a recruiter.
Starting choices are motivator, recruiter, and tactician. What is the most important thing to you? Acquiring players.
Just the name right quick. And then the apparel, I actually like the pullover as opposed to the polo. That's my style.
Make sure to pay attention.
Let's go. 1 year. And our goal is 4 games, to win 4 games. Okay. Hopefully we do well enough to warrant a job offer. We got a 1-year contract. We're going to have no feelings towards us if we have an offer to leave the team. They should have signed us for longer. Although, as you can see from the hat, we do like Harvard. Okay. Let's just take a look at the schedules. Michigan, Toledo, Buffalo, got it. Oh, got a couple FCS teams. Ooh, and Georgia, UConn. Okay. Number 10, Missouri. Some pretty tough games in there. We'll eyeball a couple receivers, couple running backs. We got quite a few 3-stars, don't we? Anybody who's first like this, I'm gonna go ahead and offer. Added. I thought we added one more guy. Yeah, this guy. There we go. Okay, we are ready for our first game, guys. Game number 1 here is Eastern Michigan. We're gonna be at home. We're going to start off first play of the game. We're just going to run a dive, man. Get the nerves out. That's a true freshman running back, number 1. But just show you guys our game plan here. Crossing routes. Our first 3rd down. Coming up short. Got that big senior receiver. That's 10. Saxon. Remember that name. Later on in the first quarter, our junior running back, we're going to run 3 running backs. You can see number 2 in the backfield. 3 different running backs are going to be in our sets. And right there, true freshman, first touchdown of the year. Playing pretty quick. Really happy with that. This guy is super small, 5'7", 185 pounds. And like I said, true freshman there. We got a junior at quarterback. He's actually showing up, playing. Big tight end, hit him on the out. If you guys watch A Road to Glory, you know we love these tight end flags and tight end outs as people are crossing just to get some space. So that's our big junior tight end right there. Going deep. Wide receivers climbing the ladder. This is that 6'4" Saxon that we were talking about earlier. Great deep threat. Here we find him in some space. Little flag route. Man coverage. No over-the-top help with safeties. So, of course, we're going to hit him. Yeah, the guys we don't have any, like, real speedsters at wide receiver. So, route running is going to be kind of the game changer. And then exploiting coverages. So, you can see like this right here. People right on our tail the entire time, but we're able to get a little space, hit him in stride. Keelan Round, junior wide receiver. It's a beautiful pass. Early on in the season, first game, we're really happy that we're not underthrowing or a whole bunch of overthrows. And you can see, man, we're just like letting this ball loose. And for the second time, Keelan Rounds gets open. We kind of, I don't know if there's like a look off button, but here we were like, I use the joystick to look to the left and then to the right, and you could see right there that safety was late getting over to help the corner over the top. But at this point, I had to double check our settings. I was like, there's no way it's 35-0 right now on Heisman setting, but it's true. So we're at Heisman. We're just going to keep playing. 35 zip here late in the third quarter. Big run by our quarterback. Scrambling, looking for some room. He's not the fastest guy, but he's getting the job done. Brings us down into the red zone within the 10. And you can see right here, we're spreading it out. Plenty of targets. First play of the fourth quarter here. This is our junior running back, straight up the middle, 10 yards out, gonna score. He's a little on the heavier side, 200 pounds, 15 pounds heavier than our little guy, but he's also a bit slower, but love him for like power situations. And this one's great, right up the middle, bulldozing. So just a new thing on Dynasty is the mass backups. So we go ahead and utilize that. 42-3 here. Just a couple minutes left in the fourth quarter. There's two juniors, our first and second string, Bowers, and then this kid is also a junior. Ross Bailey makes a big throw. I don't think we're into any position battles at the moment, but that was a big throw. With the backup Cooks, wide receiver, getting the young guys some reps here. So, approaching the 2-minute warning here. Not able to get across the goal line, but chip that field goal in. First one of the year. We've gotten good at kicking field goals. So, this was a fake jet sweep, running the clock out. We were hoping to break this one open after we ran the jet sweep earlier in the game for a big game. But game number one, a big blowout win and setting the tone for the season. 286 yards, 87%, and 4 touchdowns. That's how we wanted to go. That's how we wanted to start it. And we're going to launch it at home. Right away, though, we're going to jump onto the road. And we're going to head to Toledo, Ohio. Oh, just showing you, this is Coach XP. We turned it to slowest because we ended up getting another XP right away. So I was like, okay, let's slow this down. I didn't know there was a slowest setting. So our XP is now on slowest instead of slower. So it's going to be really difficult to upgrade our coach and make progress here. But just making sure everybody's on the same page. That's our settings. Heisman, slowest XP. Coach firing on. Back to the game. Game number 2, Toledo. First game on the road. Early on, this is our first drive. Just little crossing routes, man. If you remember, last game, Rounds was our really fast receiver. Unfortunately, not able to bust out of some early issues with losing yardage. We punt on our first drive. We're down 7-0 here early in the second quarter, and we're just getting most of our runs are 3 to 10 yards like that, right? It's kind of a grind. Not able to convert the third down, so we've got to line up. We've got to kick a field goal, and our kicker staying perfect. Second chance, lands it right out here. We're getting our fullback involved. Oh, big body. I love fullback tight ends. I love we changed our offense up just a little bit to make sure that we can get the big men involved. Third field goal attempt of the year. He can kick them pretty deep. That's gonna put us 6-7, down around 2 minutes left in the half, and we get a big run from us. I believe that was our junior running back, and then just a simple out. And I love this animation right here. So this is Saxon, our senior wide receiver, turns all the way around to make that catch here, and the physics of the game. This is really cool. Check this out. So when he turns around and they push him, he kind of gets that back pedal and just rolls backwards instead of just like a tackle animation. So I thought that was really neat. 13-7 at half. We're going to start out our first drive here. You can see not great. We're trying to scramble, trying to get some space on the outside, trying to find an open man, but Toledo, they get through there, cause the fumble, and they're able to capitalize on it. They take the lead 14-13. We're not able to convert our third down, which leads us to the fourth quarter. Here's this jet sweep that we mentioned, and we get some big yardage on it. Fortunately, because we're down 1 point, we don't want to lose. Unfortunately, that perfect kicker chipped it. So everything was lined up, in my opinion, on that. We didn't shank it. We didn't go too high with the power. For some reason, maybe it's the away game, the first away game, but we end up missing that field goal. 2 minutes left in the game. We're still down by 1. We were getting a lot of pressure. We decide to run the screen, hopefully just to set them in the backfield and get plenty of yards. Get the first down, and which sets up a field goal opportunity. This one was from deep, 45 plus. He hits it, and fortunately, with a minute left, Toledo's not able to score. We hold on for the win. Quarterback 183, about 20% less completion percentage, just 1 touchdown. So this was a battle here. 16-14 the final score. This was a hard-fought battle. The Heisman difficulty, man. I love the challenge, but at the same time, you know, like, we're sweating. We're not the greatest team out there, but you know, to go through and get a win is starting 2-0, man, in the Dynasty. That's huge. Our goal is 4, if you remember. 4 wins for the season. That's to keep our job security. So we're halfway there as we head on the road up to New York. Buffalo Bulls. This one's pretty evenly matched on paper. I've always been a fan of the Buffalo Bulls and their uniforms and what they do, kind of like East Coast Boise. Starting out the game here, our first third down, we're going to go deep, and we're not going to get it. We love to attack man coverage, but unfortunately that doesn't work out. Towards the end of the first quarter here, we're a little back and forth, 3 and outs, but we're able to set up a field goal opportunity for a kicker. He redeemed himself at the end of last game after missing a little chip shot, and then he's right back to work here on the road. Buffalo, make sure he pushes that through. 3-0 here early in the second. A nice little crossing route by English. He's our slot receiver, getting big yards. Gonna lead to a crossing by our tight end, our big junior tight end. 3rd and 13 here. We're going to try and run that screen. We love the screen on them third downs. That's our senior running back. He's going to cross the line, but unfortunately not able to score. And the Yips are back. Again, for the second time, I really feel like I line these things up, and maybe I'm not exactly in the center, but yeah, that was way outside, so kind of uncharacteristic. But we try to forget about it, push on, but now our quarterback's got the yips. You could see we absolutely shanked this one. I wasn't sure. I was thinking about the last field goal miss, So our whole team's got the yips at this point. 2 misses, overthrow by our quarterback. We don't get our feet under us here until the middle of the third quarter when we hit a great out. Sets up the touchdown here to Rashad English, our slot receiver. Hit him on the crossing route, and finally we are able to put a touchdown up on the board. Leading this one 10-0 here at towards the end of the third quarter. And we're going back to that out route. So that was open here. Why we're not fast enough to outrun the backer. I want to call him a backer. Just looking at the face mask, looking at the gear that he's wearing. Not able to outrun him. It could be a safety. But I really thought we were going to break that one. But the good thing is, up 2 scores at this point. We're in the red zone. Going back to the out. And we drop it. This is a game of yips, my friends. Because you can see it right there. Perfect. We leaned it over. Everything's straight. I'm not sure what the issue with that is. That's going to affect our next few games. Luckily, Rounds decides to take matters into his own hands, climbs the ladder, makes a circus catch, puts us in the red zone. But you know, that doesn't mean anything because that's 2 missed field goals. That's 2 drops by our tight end. We're going to rely on our kicker here. You can see I pushed this one way towards the right, up right there, and we snuck it in on the left. So that's going to adjust how we kick field goals. Here in the fourth quarter, we're not able to convert. That leads to a punt, which is right now. And luckily, with a minute left, they're not able to overcome the yards. They can't score. We win 13-7. Another insanely close game after that week 1 blowout. 246. Another 10% off that completion percentage. Just 50%. And we only get the 1 touchdown. So the competition is getting stiffer every excuse me, every single week, it seems like. But we're able to go 3-0 on the road, meaning we've got just 1 win to meet our goal. And really excitingly, the next week is at home against an FCS team. We expect to win this ball game. Here we are on our first drive in the rain, crossing route to our tight end, just picking up yards, methodical. Our first 3rd down, we're going to throw it deep and just turning around and making that catch. Severely underthrown. Unfortunately, after the big gain, we're not able to push it any further. We get a field goal try and another miss by our kicker. It's tough. We're trying to forget and move on and give him the chances that he needs when it's in there. Not trying to go for it on 4th down all the time, but unfortunately, he's not making any magic happen. So in that first quarter, we throw it to our senior wide receiver. He fumbles. That's a turnover. FCS can't capitalize. After a big run by our senior, we get another field goal attempt, and this time he pushes it through, and he doesn't like that defender pointing at him, saying, "Hey, the fuck out my face, man." And here's our jet sweep. Our jet sweep's been money. It's going to help set up this goal line opportunity, and we're going to hit our fullback on a play action for his touchdown of the season. We love the big guys. Here he is, carrying. Sophomore fullback. There are a couple teams that don't even have fullbacks on the roster. They just have a second string tight end. So I think it's really cool. I wanted to get him involved because he is a true fullback. Right here, 24 seconds left in the half. It's 10-10. And we're just trying to make some magic happen. But unfortunately, getting ready to throw the deep ball, we get blasted and toss our first pick directly to the defender right before halftime. And that's going to stop all momentum that we had. And leads to FCS scoring. They didn't score in that half, but they did score on their first drive. So it's looking ugly here, middle of the third quarter. Our true freshman running back coughs it up. It's a turnover. I'm starting to sweat now. Are we going to get upset by FCS? Fortunately, they don't score. We're able to get a rollout here. Just pick up yards on 4th down. We're going for it. I'm not trying to lose to this team. So over here on 3rd down, we try to throw touchdown, but can't climb the ladder. Field goal kicker comes through. We're still down though, still down 4. And FCS goes down, kicks a field goal. 2013 here. Our starting running back, the true freshman, actually gets injured, which is not a big deal. We've got a 3 running back set, but just wanted to show you guys kind of some of the adversity we were facing. Run pass option, kicking it out to our senior wide receiver, making big plays. At this point, 222 yards with that touchdown. We've got 5 minutes here left in the game. We're driving down, coming back for that out. He dropped 2 the last game, but not this time. We take control of the tight end. We slow him down just a little bit. We make sure we secure catch it. This time he gets himself between the ball and the defender, makes the catch, falls across the goal line. Second touchdown of the game for our junior quarterback Bowers. And this is going to tie the ball game up. 4 minutes here to go in the game, and our goal is to just drive down the field. This was a terrible throw, by the way. Luckily, our tight end makes some magic happen. We'll watch the replay right here, but we threw that directly to the defender. Ooh, no replay on that. Forgive me. But if you watch it back, we threw it right to the defender, and luckily the tight end stepped in front of that. Big play here, approaching the 2-minute warning. We also get 1,000 yards passing for the season on our 4th game, so we're averaging at this point about 250 yards a game. 3rd and 5, minute left to go. We're trying to run the clock down, and our freshman running back is back into the game after an ankle sprain. No celebration, he just runs right off the field. It's all business right here. 27-20, and FCS is not. So if you guys know, we don't play defense because we're the offensive coordinator. I kind of watch what happens on the monitor. So FCS wasn't able to move the ball very well, and we stopped them. 27-20. We sneak out of here. Our 3rd straight game where it's been decided by a touchdown or less. So, you know, East Michigan, we thought we were going to have some big blowouts this season, but that was very short-lived. 1 blowout and then 3 very close games. But we are 4-0 our first 4 games, and we reach our goal of 4 wins. That's going to put us back on the road. Miami of Ohio, MAC champions several times. They're not a terrible team. I would expect them to be around our caliber of opponent. So especially, you know, when Toledo, Buffalo, FCS is such close games, even a 1-win team here in Miami of Ohio, we're not going to look past them. I'm going to try and stay methodical early in the game here. Senior running back, put it on the ground. You can see him. He's our biggest back and just bowling over people. So he's our power back. He's got quite a bit of speed too. Here we're looking for out, or our corner, forgive me, to our tight end, 6'5", who's on a 6-foot corner. We figure we can out jump the corner, but we end up throwing our 2nd pick of the year. But that's, they can't capitalize on it here late, and we go back to work throwing those outs, finding space. And right here, that confidence, that short memory leads us to, I thought I let him. So classic passing, it does have a lead button on, and sometimes, like, I love it. I love the randomness. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. We end up throwing the pick, 2nd pick of the game, our first 2-pick game of the year. Miami's not able to capitalize, but when we get the shot again, we decide not to throw so many deep balls. Hit the crossing route, hit rounds, and he does the rest, crossing the goal line, kind of outrunning the defenders there who are taking mediocre lines or routes to the runner. 7-7 here, 2nd quarter. Little screen pass, making big things happen. That's going to be the big play that kind of springs us and sets up this touchdown pass right here. So after a barrage of crossing routes, we're able to have English separate. Unfortunately, we underthrew this ball. We underthrew this one and almost gave the defenders a chance to step in front of it. I don't know. We're going to work on it. I don't know if the road just has you know, funky mechanics. But yeah, we're able to make it happen. Third quarter here, 14-14. Just getting that punt in. Miami's not able to take advantage here. We thought we were going to have another jump ball. Unfortunately, not able to come down with it. Field goal kickers in. We're always sweating a little bit when we got to bring the field goal unit out. You guys have seen all those attempts, but we're able to punch this one through. Into the third quarter here, another jump ball. We're just trying to make any kind of magic happen, but not able to pull that one down. And yeah, another miss. 47 yards though. We know we've got the distance for it. We just got to figure out how to punch these ones through. Up by 3 here in the fourth quarter, and we finally get one of these deep balls. I'm really hoping like to figure out for our quarterback Bowers, how am I going to lead these guys? Because we can't throw jump balls every single time we want to throw it deep. But that's just the way it's working out. Luckily, Rounds comes up with a big play. Gets us into like, we'll just call it field goal range. A big screen here to our true freshman running back. And this time we punch it through. This was a tie ball game at this point. So this is a 3-point lead, 20-17 here with 3 minutes. We find press coverage. Of course, we want to take advantage of that. I told you guys we're looking. We got to figure out how to hit guys in stride. And this was it. Finally hit our guy in the stride. This makes it a 2-score game, by the way, with about 3 minutes to play. So this was huge for us. We knew that it would take some time for them to score if they could score. And then for us to run out the clock would be not easy, but it would be a lot more manageable than trying to run 3 minutes off the clock or trying to make a comeback. Luckily, they don't score. We still got the 10-point lead, and this is just us running the clock out. It did end fourth down. They used all their timeouts. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't going to kneel it on fourth down and give them the ball back. So we kicked the field goal. That gives us the win at 30-17. So a bit more cushion than our previous 3 games. Bigger than that, that puts us at 5-0 on the season. So 1 game above our goal. And we're rolling, man. A lot of confidence going in here, even though we've left so many points on the board with all these missed field goals. We're finding ways to win. Our defense through simulation doing amazing, and we're able to take the offensive player of the week with Rounds, just showing you guys where we're at through 5 games, over 1,000 yards, 288 for our true freshman. Lakes is our senior running back, and here is our junior. 2 touchdowns for the freshman, 1 for the junior. And then you can see from that graphic way back earlier in the season how we spread the ball out. So it's pretty even. We love to hit our tight end, who is leading in catches, but our junior receiver Rounds is the one who's leading in touchdown catches. And then of course our fullback, we've highlighted both of his catches. And then just to check, are there going to be any head coaching opportunities at the end of the year? Right away we see Ohio and New Mexico State, as well as Wichita State they haven't won any games, so those may be possible landing spots. We've won 5 games. We're 5-0. We've got a decent little mix going on here at Harvard. I'm already thinking about what are we going to do next year. Are we going to be able to get a head coaching job offer, and are we going to take it? But we can't lose sight of what's happening on the field. Our 6th game of the season on the road, Northern Illinois University. In real life, they upset Notre Dame. But early on in the game, our first drive, we've got to punt it, and we get our first roughing the kicker call, which is really going to help us out because we were not moving the ball at all. But this is going to kind of kickstart us. 2nd and 8 here. Get a little play action, roll out to our running back, and our freshman, kind of a stud, man, bounces off the defender, able to pick up the first down. 3rd and 16 here. We hit this out, and Bauer completely misses it. 52-yard field goal attempt. We're going to go out and we're going to try anything. You know what I'm saying? Check that out. 52 yards. Barely. He can't even believe it. They can't believe it. The dude said, what the hell was that? Off the crossbar. 3-7. NIU does go out there and score a touchdown into the first quarter here. We're moving the ball 3rd and 1. We love this little jet sweep pass, and Rounds, our leading touchdown receiver, is able to get that around the corner, get a first down, and then comes up with this amazing catch to put us in the red zone. 4th and goal here. We throw it out to our fullback. Unfortunately, he drops it, and we leave all those points on the board. Still 3-7 here late in the first half. Our goal here is to drive and kind of get those points back. Luckily, our defense showed up, and the game doesn't get out of reach for us. You know, we're not down 2 scores. But right here, 3rd and goal, we had a guy open. I didn't see him until late. This time, we're not going to go for it. We're going to sneak this one in, and oh my gosh, after booting a 52-yarder, this guy's like struggling with these 20-yard field goals. 6-7 at this point. We get the ball back with less than 40 seconds to go. We decide to hit a little crossing route, get the timeout called. What can we do here? Fire it deep. That's Saxon, 6'4", senior wide receiver. Hit him in the back of the end zone. And right before halftime, we're able to go ahead 13-7. This doesn't happen all the time, and a lot of times we overthrow this thing. Our deep ball isn't the prettiest, but we make it happen early in the 4th quarter. So no scoring in the 3rd. We should have had a big loss. Our running back ends up getting free and having a big gain, which sets up a big pass to Saxon again. I thought we were going to have his 2nd touchdown of the game right here, but he gets caught from behind, about 10 yards out, setting it up, crossing route, big tight end, touchdown. So he's our leading receiver, is the junior tight end, and decently reliable aside from those 2 drops at Buffalo in the end zone. And here we're just running the clock out. 21-14. Fullback actually had a pretty good game, and then just because it's 4th down, they used all their timeouts. We're not going to punt it. We kick it through. 21-14 was the true score, but we end up kicking that last second field goal just to avoid punting it or kneeling it and giving the ball back. So 24-14 is the official final score, and we go 6-0 on the season. 216 yards, 64%, 2 touchdowns. Bowers comes through. And man, we're happy with where we're at. We're happy that the games aren't easy. We're not blowing people out. Hard fought wins. I'm really looking forward to a head coaching offer when we can play defense. You can see right here, player of the week is our defensive guy with 7 tackles and a pick. This Douglas Saxon, our big wide receiver, 4 catches, 93 yards and a touchdown. So not a bunch in the yardage department, but he definitely made some big plays happen. This is going to conclude our first episode, guys. 6-0. We're doing big things here in Cambridge. Harvard's off to an amazing start. Our career's off to an amazing start. When we come back for episode 2, we're going to take on the number 9 Missouri Tigers here at home, Harvard Stadium. If you guys are liking the series, show some love. Leave a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing. Hang out for the long run because we're done with the first half of our first year, and we're going to pick it up against our first ranked opponent. But we expect this one. It's the SEC, but brand new Harvard program. This one's going to be our first like super tough test. So tune in. Let's see how we fare. Thank you guys for being here. We'll see you on the next one.